Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to talk to you about the 3 bottlenecks that could be capping your revenue and what to do about them. And it's going to be a fast 5-minute episode because I want you to really think about just these 3 things and take it into your week to see how it could be showing up for you. All right. Number 1 is over delivering. Noticing what it is that you actually need to deliver in order for you to gain a result for your customer. Noticing that and being like, okay, where am I actually over delivering? Which then sometimes can be the flip side of then causing you to undercharge. Right. And I see this time and time again where people are doing so much above and beyond what it is that they need to be doing in order for the client to be super happy and for them to get the outcome based on what they've promised. And they end up just over delivering for fear of the client not being happy or disappointing the client or fear of them not believing in what they're delivering is valuable, right? So when you get caught up in that trap of like trying to prove your worthiness, trying to prove your value, you end up over delivering. And the reason why that can be such a massive cap on your revenue is because it's time consuming. And where you should be spending your time versus over delivering is making sure that you're growing your business. So if you are over delivering, you're losing all of this time that you could be spending on improving your programs, improving your delivery, improving your sales strategy, improving your visibility, like working on the growth of your business. Like, I could go on and on and on. So where are you currently over delivering that maybe you need to put some better boundaries in place, or just even with yourself where you acknowledge like, hey, okay, I've done enough here, or noticing if there's been like scope creep where you need to actually start putting in some boundaries and charging for extra things that you're doing instead of just doing it anyway. Number 2 that can be a bottleneck and cause you to cap your own income and your own revenue is not hiring when you need to hire. So noticing where you're getting caught up in doing stuff where you're hoarding your money and thinking that that's the way that you become more profitable, when really you need to look at where your zone of genius is and where you should be spending your time and what you need to be outsourcing instead. So a lot of the time I see this with business owners who are fearful of hiring and they have a little bit of a control freak element coming in, or they also have maybe some money mindset stuff that is preventing them from being able to hire. So there could be the mindset of like not wanting to hire people or thinking that they're going to have to micromanage someone or not wanting to lead and really trying to do everything themselves, right? So if that's you, then it might be time to look at, okay, where can I just start that feels doable and just start outsourcing in smaller areas that you can still have control over. Like it's not like you're outsourcing every part of your business. Like you could just start with one small area and start to build trust. Like you've got to trust that people will do a good job and they're going to be a valuable part of your business in order for your business to grow. You cannot grow alone. And if you keep trying to grow alone, it's very, very lonely and bloody exhausting and only lead to burnout. And you can't scale. You can't scale just doing it on your own. So that's the second bottleneck. If you could be looking at where you are doing all these things within your business that maybe you should be outsourcing instead of doing yourself. And the last one is winging your strategy. There definitely comes a time where you just get to a space where you're like, okay, do I have a strategy in place? And if the answer is no, and you're kind of just going, month to month and just continue to do what you've always done, that can absolutely cap your income because you have no real direction and you have no plan, which means you have no metrics to actually measure. If you're not measuring something within your business, then you have no real plan in order to hit it, right? You're not learning from the data your business is giving you. And when we're winging our strategy, it often means that we're also not measuring what's working and what's not working. So I would just start with like looking at what can you measure at the moment to start looking at the data that your business is giving you. And then secondly, it's time to pay some attention to your strategy because maybe you need to put in a better strategy in order to grow. Maybe you just need a strategy. Maybe just start with one. So like to give you an idea of like, I have a client that I'm working with at the moment. And we need to look at where she was actually losing so much opportunity for sales because she hadn't set up things like her website or her lead magnet or any of her funnels really well. And so we needed to actually go back and look at that because she was missing so many opportunities to bring in leads and then also convert those leads. And that's because she was just winging her strategy, right? She was just using social media and just posting on socials and hoping that people would then DM her, and then that would lead to a sales call and then she'd convert. And that was then getting to the point where she was getting exhausted. So really starting to think about, like, if you are winging your strategy, that is also something that will absolutely cap your revenue. So it might be time to put something in place. Now, I actually have a one-off service for this. So if you feel called to get a proper strategy in place where we can look at everything in your business and put a sales strategy in place for the next 6 months, you can check out the link in the show notes. And it's something that I can do with you where we do it over 2 different calls. One is the first call as we dive into a discovery of your business and what you need, the biggest challenges, where you're finding those biggest blocks, and what you would like to start achieving with your business in regards to your sales goals. And then I go and look at everything, do a full audit and a full review, and then I get to give you a full recommendation and build out a strategy for you. It takes a couple of weeks to do that because it is a lot of in-depth work. And then we get together on a call to then go through the whole strategy so you know exactly how to implement it. So if that feels something that you are in need of at the moment, feel free to reach out via DM, or you can find it in the links in the show notes. All right, lovely. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope you have an amazing week.